Hello, welcome to CarCast. I'm Matt, the moderator, DeAndre, here with Bill Goldberg. How you doing?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still in suspended animation, I feel like, but uh, I don't know. It's weird. It's not like my existence has changed. It's just it's weird. There's like a cloud hanging over me. It's weird. But hey, I'm getting back into it. Tomorrow we're going to jump back on the Cobra and hopefully with me being retired, I'll be able to get it finished as soon as humanly possible, which
Yeah,
will be this month for sure. It'll be done by middle of August, or it should be done for sure.
it's getting there. I saw you got some more parts coming in. We can get into that in a second. Tell me about what you're playing with right there. I was just curious. You got a little knife in your hand. Pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah,
This
custom
isn't a plug or anything. I'm just,
is somebody that likes to play with fire. I wonder what the term applies to people who like to play with knives.
yeah.
It's weird. I this company that I just partnered with, Patriot Tactical, a couple weeks ago. They have a plethora of knives, man, and they uh, stopped by here a week ago and brought another set of inventory so that I could expand my collection. But I mean, I probably got 100 knives sitting around here right now. So yeah, it's just like you
Yeah,
can't.
that's funny because I didn't even think it was a plug. I thought you just had something, but yeah.
But it's not a plug. I mean, yeah, I mean, it is and it's not, right? But it's just you can't keep your hands off of these.
Yeah.
No, it's
You
weird.
know, it doesn't seem weird to us, the people that collect interesting things, but sometimes to the outside world, it's like it's a little odd. I remember years ago when I was doing that car collector show, you and I filmed an episode. I went to Tim Allen's garage.
Uh,
He collects vintage cell phones. He's got a huge glass case. He's a tech nut.
yeah.
He's a techie guy. He's got the latest and greatest of cell phones, sometimes more than one at a time. And he's got a big glass case that looks like a pawn shop or a retail store, like old StarTAC and flip phones and just a interesting collection of cell phones.
Whatever floats your boat, man. I mean, we all have that little trait in us that we like to car collectors like to collect inherently other
Yeah.
cool things. And there's a lot of cool things from back in that era that you could concentrate on and that would be extremely strange to somebody else. So I can see that.
uh, Jeff Dunham, the comedian and ventriloquist. You know Jeff, right? You must know Jeff. He's a big car guy. He is the nicest guy. Uh, that guy works hard. He sells out 20,000 seats. Like he's just a massive, and I don't think he gets the credit he deserves as a comedian because they don't put him in there like Fluffy selling out and Joe Coy selling out. But then you look at the attendance that he has, and he's never like really ranked on the comedian side because he's more of an act but his residency in Vegas, he, he builds has built and flown his own helicopters. He's a helicopter pilot. When I was at his shop, he was building a helicopter, a small helicopter. Then it gets certified to make sure it's all, ready to go. And then he builds that and he collects old Mac computers.
I can see that. I mean, I've got a couple of them sitting in the house. I can see it for sure.
He's
Hey,
got
we,
like,
hey, to somebody, that's gold. To your
those are worth money. Yeah,
right,
you're right. Those are
but
worth money. The dummies that he uses in his act, he designs them and 3D prints them. And on the inside, there's he to move the body, there's like a little bit of a motor, I think, if I understood that correct, because he was telling me he actually makes the boards, like the motherboards, and solders them together and controls them, and then he paints them and he does the whole thing. He
that's
doesn't
awesome.
set them out to get made. He designs them, paints them, 3D prints them now.
That's killer, man.
It's yeah, but he's a good guy. He's such a nice guy, and he really does have a car collection. But you're not going to be surprised. But he's also a bit of a superhero fan. He's a big Batman fan, and he's got the Tim Burton Batmobile, like the one from the movie.
Yeah,
that he had to turn into. He's got an LS7 in it now. Like he and I drove around in that thing, and it's
that's
cool.
cool.
It's cool. Like everybody on the street stops you when you're in a Batmobile.
Well, yeah, I would hope so.
um, uh, and he's got some very, very cool stuff in there. He's got a Ford GT, like the 2005, and there was a company that did like a coach built conversion to turn him into like a not a convertible, but like a Targa top. It's like a whole removable thing. And part of the package was like upgraded supercharger, like a big Whipple supercharger and stuff. They only did a handful of them. He's got one of those, and he's got the new 4GT like in a purple that he's got some pretty coul stuff. And he
Eclectic
flies helicopters.
collection, man. I love
Um, you said it was hot over there. It was 100 degrees over there. And I was thinking about the floods that you guys also had a little while ago, and then the fires that we had here. So, all last night for us in the middle of the night was Russia had this big earthquake,
it. Yeah.
8.8, and then they said tsunami alert. And it just seemed
Nothing
like
happened, did it?
no,
I mean,
but here,
I didn't
so
feel anything, did you?
what happened is years ago, I don't think anyone would make a big deal out of it, especially if you watch any movie or television show, like any like big disaster movie from back in the 90s. It was always like, don't panic the people, don't panic the people. But now that the government has messed up so many times, not telling people about enough time with floods and enough time with fires, now it's all like, panic everybody, panic. Like we're in the marina here, and 10:30 at night, the sheriff came out in his boat with his megahorn in the dark, and he's like, tsunami warning, everybody get to high ground, tie down your boats. And then the police helicopter came up with the megahorn and telling people it's like tsunami warning. It was like it's gonna hit at 1:10 in the morning is the first wave, and it could go for a while. And just in my head, my like I have that internal clock, like I just wake up without an alarm, whatever. So in my head, I was like 1:10 a.m. I should do something. And of course, it's 1:05, and I naturally just wake up. I walk out on the porch here, not a ripple in the water, nothing, not a ripple, and it's been completely flat. It couldn't be a nicer day.
That
Now
is
the good news is nothing happened, right? But I don't know. It's like, did we need the helicopters and the boats? I guess it was fine. I mean, I guess I'd rather know than not know.
Yeah, you'd rather be over prepared 1,000%.
Yeah.
I remember those fires. A natural disaster, depending upon what it is. I mean, they're all as unpredictable as the next, but that's nothing to be messing with, man. So if it inconveniences you, um, I didn't. I mean, I don't know. Being evacuated was such a pain in the ass, but at the end of the day, it's. Do you want to live or do you want to be inconvenient?
Yeah,
So,
I think the lesson's been learned now when they're all the government agents, city,
oh
whatever,
yeah,
local, they're like, we just got to tell. By the way, Hawaii was supposed to get hit harder, and it seemed like it was fine. Like it dissipated enough that it didn't seem to make a difference. Like I don't even know if they got much of a high
10,
tide. Like we
I
were,
got done working out around 10:30 and I came in and Wanda's got some friends that live in Hawaii and I told her because she doesn't watch the news that much and she got on the horn with them and they were fine. And
yeah,
then had some friends in Alaska because that was an option for it
yeah.
to possibly hit too. And so we called them and everybody was fine. But again, man, it's better safe than sorry.
Yeah, and for me, we're on the top floor, so there's not much we could do. Like you can't
Can't
get any
get you can't
higher.
get higher. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get any higher. Like we go to the roof, but that would be pretty high. We're 5 floors up. That'd be pretty high. But I just watched a bunch of videos like a week ago of how quick the flooding in Texas happened. It was just like there's a river, and all of a sudden buildings have washed away. So we had no idea
It
what it
was
was,
freaking
what it was going
horrible,
to be.
bro. I mean, it's hard to
Yeah,
explain
it's
it. I mean,
crazy. It was so
obviously,
quick.
it hit right, as I was preparing to go to Atlanta that week prior to my match. And so, I remember it was a Sunday and I got together as many extra clothes as I could scrap together. And took them down to Bunker Branding. They were doing a closed drive, and to make an extremely long story short, man, I mean, the last time I went down to the fire department a couple times and spoke to the guys, shook some hands, and thanked them for what they were doing. But the last time I saw something like that was the freaking World Trade Center,
Yeah.
honestly, because I went down there a week after, it had happened, or up there a week after it had happened, and Steiner and I were, just trying to get their minds off of what they were doing, and they looked like zombies. And when I walked into the fire station, they're all volunteers. They're all firemen from around the country. Guys from Nevada, guys from Kansas, guys from Alabama, Tennessee. They were all there. Whether they had dog teams, whether they had excavators, whatever their specialist was, it was like different teams of guys, stationed every mile along the 80-mile stretch. And the look in their eyes, man, I mean, it was freaking horrible. Like,
Yeah.
you could see right through them. They were exhausted. They were they felt a sense of urgency, quite obviously, and they're doing their service to the public. But man, these guys, they're like robots.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine, emotionally what it's like to uncover a body. And we went to a benefit Monday night, and it was freaking unbelievable. I'm going to post something today about it. George Strait and who was the other? Garth Brooks came out, surprise guest, and it was freaking awesome. They raised over $5 million in one evening,
Wow.
and I met the one of the Bernie PD officers that found the first 23 people, and to hear him describe that, I mean, it's absolutely the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Half of them were kids. And as a father, I mean, you can't even begin to understand what these people are going through, man. I couldn't imagine it. And what I've seen over the past 2, 3 weeks is I would be more proud to live no other place than in Texas, seeing the people rally together for a common cause. It's just been absolutely unbelievable. Everybody's
Yeah.
dropped everything that they do, and they're all down there. And, they're inundated with supplies and food and stuff like that. So they have an overabundance of food and supplies for the first responders. But, these people that lost everything, dude, it's freaking horrible. I couldn't imagine. It's like a bomb went off. And to put it in perspective, it went from 3 feet to 43 feet in a matter of 40 minutes, something like that. I don't know
It's
what
amazing how quickly it
it,
happened.
it was terrifying, you know.
Yeah.
So all the
Well,
stories, it's just, but it shows you that there is hope for mankind when you see all these people coming
yeah.
together.
Yeah, it's pretty big deal. And I appreciate you helping and
Oh man,
supporting and doing all that stuff that you
and
do.
that's the problem too, is you try to do what you can, and it's never enough. And you know, a big problem that they had was that people like the 10 right near where I live goes straight down to where all the damage was, all the catastrophic part of what happened, all is centralized down there. Comfort, and the other side of the river also, but most of it was west of us, about 20 minutes, and there were people freaking going west all day. And the problem that they had is that too many people volunteered and that they were getting in the way of everyone else. And so it's been a surreal experience, man. And it's far from over. Quite obviously, it's just begun for these families that are trying to rebuild. I mean, the pallets of water going down there, it's just unbelievable. Because the reservoir is tainted because all of the overflow went in it, and that's where they get their drinking water from.
Yeah.
So it's one thing after another. And now with the heat, I mean, it's just, you try to overcome these obstacles and understand that there are people much more worse off than you are. And in situations like this, man, it's totally apparent. And hats off to these people that are busting their ass 24/7 to continually do something for people that they don't know. I mean, it's an unbelievably honorable deal. I mean, I met with the SWAT team when we were there the other night and went upstairs with there were over 150 first responders that were there at the event, and just the exhaustion in their faces, man, and the emotional stress that they're going through because as you know, most of these victims were kids. So yeah, it's horrible. Let's move on to something fun.
Yeah, yeah. I went and drove through Malibu and grabbed dinner with Adam Kroll the other night, and it's the first time I've been back into that area. I've seen his videos that he posts on his YouTube channel. He's doing like a vlog of in meeting with first responders and meeting with the groups that are doing the excavation and all that stuff, and Rick Caruso and finally kind of driving through it and seeing it. It's like there's just nothing left.
Devastation.
It's just yeah, it's just burnt up plots of land. Like
Yeah.
some of them have some foundation from the house left, like just the cement left, but that's it. It's like it's crazy.
It's like it was vaporized.
Yeah, it was. All right, so moving up and onward. Back to the car stuff. I saw you got your care package in from the group at Holly. We were talking a little bit about that. More stuff that you need to wrap up the Cobra, but it's fun to get sort of get the final bits and pieces that you need to fire it up. Now that all the fit and finish is getting closer to being done, did you get the windshield finally set?
That will be set tomorrow.
Okay.
Unfortunately, a lot of these things can't be done by one person, and I don't have these guys over here that often. We try to get together once a week.
Yeah.
Everybody's got lives and families, and but Cobra Day is the fun day when we get together and make progress on the car, but most importantly, kind of clear our minds. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be the day. Uh, what's been most apparent to me during this process is that it's so much easier to tear a car down than it is to rebuild. Right? I mean, we all know that because we've been through this situation, but it is extremely fun to be at the point where we're at right now because you get to hang all the new goodies on. As you mentioned, Holly sent us the ignition box, the coil, the plug wires, the distributor. And so it's going to be fun putting all that stuff on. It's also going to be fun getting my freaking drive shaft because I've been waiting for it for 3 weeks. And that'll complete the drivetrain. And I mean, we're good to go. So we set the windshield. I did all the altering on the fiberglass to fit the dash, and so all we need to do is plug everything in, mount the dash, plug everything in, which is easier than it sounds, or not as easy as it sounds. Put the drive shaft in and slowly lower this bad boy back on top of the drivetrain. And
And then what did you guys end up doing with this steering column? Were you able to get the tilt column in there and have enough room? Because I know it's got more of a like that where the hub is and where the tilt is a much bigger piece. So I don't know how it was going to fit.
we did it right at the break. Right at
Okay.
the break is where we did the hole. And it fit absolutely perfectly. No alteration. I think it's a 54-inch uh, uh, column. We do have to figure out, the final fitment of it to get the angle, but we can't do all of that obviously until the dash is mounted, the seat's in, I sit in it, and then boom, we
Yeah.
can figure out the proper angle. But it worked out perfectly. I was very skeptical because it just didn't seem as like it was going to work. But Manny has done this many times before, so he was extremely confident, and he was laughing at me because I was so edgy about it. But man, we got the holes cut, and I mean it's ready to rock. I can't wait.
And the seat is lower now than it was before.
Well, it was on the seats before were on like 3-inch risers, and it got them up off the floor. But I think it was purely just a fitment thing, right? So I don't need those risers in there. So there's another 3 inches that I get. Number one, number two, there's a the middle insert on the seat on the seats that Manny carries is removable, and you could replace it with one half the width,
Right. Yeah.
which
So you can
is
get yourself
fantastic.
more in the car. I mean,
Absolutely.
I mean, the videos that you have, like you and I drove in it and stuff from that for years ago. Yeah, you're so high above it. It's kind of awkward trying to see. Are you looking through the windshield or are you looking above the windshield? And
I was looking right at the freaking top bar.
right, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's right in your view, and then you know then that makes the roll bar not tall enough in an accident, right? Because you're
Oh
basically
yeah.
higher than the roll bar,
Yeah, so we've done an alteration on every aspect of that fitment right there. So the roll bar is going in last, and the roll bar is going from a 1.5 inch to a 2 inch, and it'll be probably 3 inches higher than it was. So if you do
Yeah.
the math, if it's 3 inches higher than it was, and the seat's going to be 3 inches lower than it was, I mean it's gonna be a substantial difference. And I'm very excited to freaking drive this thing
Yeah.
where I'm actually
And
comfortable. And on the TKX, it gave us the ability to move the shifter three different places where I already freaking moved that some bitch all the way up, and I've already placed the seat. And I'm what a huge difference. I mean, this is actually going to be fun to drive now, as opposed to, an arduous task of, manipulating your feet and your. It's just it was so
yeah.
and it wasn't functional. So
And like
it's
you said, if you're sitting too low, you could do a different seat insert, right? And get you a little bit higher.
absolutely.
So you have a little bit of room there, but you want to have enough room that the roll bar clears your head, even with a helmet on, because if you do decide to just do an autocross or a track day or something and you want the gear, you want to be able to, even if that means sitting a half inch lower with the different seat insert or something, whatever you
Absolutely.
need, just to get the helmet on, then you'll be situated right. When you do the TKX and the new shifter location, do you guys need to make a new tunnel?
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Or
We just need to make a new hole.
right, and then patch the other hole, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Manny's done it many a time before. So we're that's the least of my worries at this point, truthfully. We're the hole's probably going to be moved a good 6 inches at
Yeah.
least. So that's going to be nothing but a pleasure to do, as opposed to something that
But the floor of that tunnel, the tunnel's aluminum, right? It's not fiberglass?
it's fiberglass with aluminum over it. It's got
Okay.
like heat shields around it.
Yeah, okay. Right. So he's gonna have to do a little work. He's gonna have to do a little fab work.
Yeah, it won't be
But
that
it,
bad.
it won't be bad.
No,
Yeah.
it won't be bad at all. It won't be bad at all. And he, being one of the first people I've ever met, loves to work with fiberglass.
Okay.
Go figure. To each his own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, awesome. Well, I'm glad that car is coming together. You guys get some more progress on it on tomorrow. Um, let's do
I
this.
can thank I can thank all the boys finally, the Dakota Digital guys, because I'm finally 8 months after getting the gauges in, able to install them. So yeah, it's going to be nice to be able to thank everybody, because they probably forgot about the fact that they threw parts in on the project because the project's taken so long. But then again, it's not uncommon in this space. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
All right. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay. So yeah, good to hear on the Cobra that's coming together. Uh, I lost my train of thought from before. I know I had another question about one of the cars in there, but I can't remember what it was. Uh, I know
Um,
you're doing the Coronet. You got the M715 that's over at Salvaggio.
Now the
We're
coronet
getting a
at Salvaggio's also the body arrived from Warman, and then he's going to mate it up with the chassis, with the that fully caged chassis, and then DSR is going to be sending the crate motor. Um,
yeah.
to them, and I told you about the crate motor I got, right?
Yeah, last week you told us about the
Yeah. So, um, Hemi days galore. And
yeah.
and on that note, the TRX I can finally admit is coming back out in the fourth quarter. So Yahoo!
Yeah, I meant to I don't know if we had that in the notes from before, but SRT being back, the first vehicle that they're going to come out with is the TRX, which makes the most sense because that platform is already ready to accept that power plant.
100%.
Suspension's done. I know their plan was to take the Dodge Charger that's EV and have the Hurricane gas engine in it, but I think to get a V8 in there, just any V8, not just a, something that's 700 or 800 horsepower, might require quite a bit of development time. So I think
I understand. From what I understand, and not to cut you off, but I'm going to have to say no. There's not going to be that much development time because they've already, behind closed doors, were trying to figure out ways to wedge that motor in. Once they knew that shit was going south, they were like, "Let's figure this out." And it's the front suspension, from what I heard.
yeah,
So
but
I don't think it's going to be long.
do they have to redo like crash testing and all that? Because that's
Not
expensive
sure
stuff.
you would know that more than I would, but the fact is that as much of a shit show as it was over there, I can guarantee you all that stuff was more than fast tracked.
Yeah, I would imagine it would be fast track, but you're right. So maybe we'll see an announcement about that. Uh,
But here's the question, and I hate to put this as the Dodge guy, but even with the big Hemi supercharged, is that car going to sell?
oh, I don't know. I mean, we don't. It's not a bad looking car. The interior's nicer. It's roomier. I mean, are you saying it's just like because there's a sour taste in everyone's mouth because was launched as
Dude,
an EV? Does it feel like a homologation and not something that was built from scratch?
is
Like
that going to
planned.
matter? It's going to be
Yeah,
weird seeing how the public takes to it, right?
yeah.
Because
Well,
everybody's hemming and hawing about, okay, we'll throw a freaking V8 in it. Okay, they're going to throw a V8 in it at some point. Now, is it going to be palatable enough for people to go out and buy it?
right. So, but they know what the audience benchmark is. They have the previous cars. They have the Hellcats. They have the Demon cars. They can't do something that's not better than that. Like they, especially now because of all the bad press around, so they need to, if they're going to do it, it needs to come out and be better. It needs to be, it just needs to perform better overall, all around. If they're drag racing it, it needs to be a little bit quicker. If they're putting it on the road course, it needs to be a little bit quicker. Like,
And it needs to be a little bit better looking. I'm just saying, it is what it is. Um,
yeah, that
and
part I'm not too worried about. There's
my question also is the weight difference, right? So you take all those batteries out. What's it, that thing was a pig.
yeah.
Uh, I mean, it's borderline SUV weight. But the battery is going to make a huge difference in the weight. I'm curious to see the difference.
Yeah, and is that engine going to be able to sit back far enough to get better balance in that car? Because the the EV, that battery puts all of that weight kind of in the middle and down low. And when you
Exactly.
put the engine in it, how far is that front wheel track? Is that front axle, if you will, far enough forward that the engine can sit back? As far as how to make it look. I have faith in guys like Mark Trossel and his
Yeah,
team on going, you know what?
I'm not
Let's
saying they
let's go
can't do it.
back to the wide body. Let's go back to the cool fender flares. Let's add some pieces to it. Can we get enough tire under the rear so it gets traction and also just looks badass?
Yeah, I mean, you can get the tire under the rear. There's no question. The thing's huge as it is, but you can do a fender flare, but it's already flared out. But it's toned down, right?
Yeah.
So it's not the accentuated, bulbous fender flares that we love so much. It's already built in. So it's already wide enough. I mean, it's a very wide car. I'm curious. I'm
Yeah.
not, it's not going to work, but I'm excited about what Trussell, let's be honest, can do to make this thing, and the boys can do to make it, more palatable and
Yeah.
make it exciting. That's all.
Um, the other thing I wanted to mention, I thought this was kind of interesting, was the guys at Edmonds. They sent their test driver to Portugal to get some time in the new Lamborghini, and I've driven the Huracan. It's a cool car. I've driven the McLarens, which we like. But the numbers coming in, the performance and drivability of this new Lamborghini, the Temerario. So this is the Huracan replacement. This is
Mhm.
not the big car. This is the entry level car, if you will, which still is 360 something $1,000. Uh, and what's interesting is this is a hybrid,
Mhm.
but hybrid in the sense of all performance. It can
Good,
go
good,
six.
it's the good kind of hybrid.
It's a good kind of hybrid. Now we talked about the collectability of hybrid supercars like a McLaren P1 or a LaFerrari because maybe you don't drive them much and the batteries start to go bad and there's some issues with that. And companies like Porsche are stepping up and going, we're going to have replacement batteries or we're going to work with a partner that makes them better, more reliable. I don't know that that's going to be the case in this Lamborghini because this is more, I mean, more drivable. Whereas maybe you have a P1 and you see them in the aftermarket with for sale with 1,000 miles on it. It wouldn't be surprising to see one of those Lamborghinis pop up with 10,000 miles on it.
Mhm.
The big difference here is they dropped the V10 and they went with a V8. And you're going to lose the sound of the V10 and they want to compensate as much as they can. So the V8 is a flat plane crank,
Mhm.
spins to 10,000 RPM. And when you put it in the full track mode and use the launch control, it shifts at 10,250 RPM, which is the sweet spot of hitting that 0 to 60 before the gear change, before it has to shift gears. So it can hit you that, it'll get you to that 0 to 60. I think it's like 2.7. Let me see if I got it in the specs here. So I want to say it's like 2.7. Yeah, 2.7. So the other thing they did is they put two massive turbos on top of the engine, kind of in the where the intake would be. It's in the valley, almost like a reverse head. And apparently the turbos are huge. And you look at it and you go, how are you going to get any low end torque with this amount of with the size of these turbos? Because and an engine that spins 10,000 RPM, you figure it's not even going to come on until 7,000 RPM. What they did was there's an electric motor right on on the transmission that's I think it's 147 horsepower or something. I'll have to double check, but that fills in the low end gap. So as that electric motor comes in with its full torque, fills the low end gap, the turbo lag, so those turbos can kick in.
Then the turbo kicks in.
Turbos can kick in,
Yeah.
and then there are two electric motors on the front wheels that give it some extra power, gives it all-wheel drive grip, and the torque vectoring is phenomenal because those can be controlled independently. So combined, this thing has 907 horsepower, I believe. Here's some of the pictures we're looking at it on YouTube. Yeah, so the electric motor that's on the transmission is 147 horsepower, 221 pound-feet of torque. The electric motors in the front add an additional 294 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque. Just the electric motors in the front. Combined, this thing does 907 horsepower, 538 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds, top speed of 213. That's high. In my mind, that's high for something that has electric motors.
Hmm.
And when they were testing it at the track, look, the electric motors only has about 6 miles of range. You're like, it's just enough to like get you out of your neighborhood on just EV mode quietly in the middle of the night or late whatever in the morning for cars and coffee at 6 a.m. But the combination seems to work so well, so seamlessly, and they said it's really kind of fun that every time like if you stop at a stoplight and it shuts off the engine and it puts it in EV mode and then it starts moving under its own power with the electric motors like the Acura NSX and then it fires up the engine, hearing that flat plane crank V8 fire up at like almost every stoplight behind you, they said it was actually kind of fun. I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be interesting to drive. I think the interior they've stepped up the game. I think it's phenomenal. A number of screens. They have several different modes in there. All the other pieces that you'd expect. Massive brakes, 16.1-inch rotors in the front, 15.4 in the back.
There's
Carbon ceramic brakes.
one thing that they completely forgot, and that's room for me.
Okay, so here we go. This is they were talking about that. So it's 7.3 inches longer, 2.5 inches wider, 1.4 inches taller. And the wheelbase has been extended 1.4 inches. So they're saying
But
that,
those are the exterior dimensions, not the dimensions of the cockpit.
yeah, so they're saying the exterior dimensions do allow for a more spacious interior. There's 1.3 inches more of headroom,
Oh, yippee.
1.8 inches more of legroom,
Ooh,
and Lamborghini claims somebody 6'6"
yeah.
could drive it, and we'll see because Alistair Weaver's 6'5", and if he could fit in it or fit in it with a helmet, um, it'd be interesting. I think it's going to be much more accommodating.
For
Like,
Alice,
look, it's still going to be tight, right? It's meant to be a sports car. It's going to be a tight fit, but can you fit in it? I mean, it's more about the broad shoulders. Like, do you have room? Now because it's all paddle shift anyway, you don't have to move. You don't have to move that shoulder back and forth. You can just keep your arms on the paddles. But I don't know. I can't wait to hopefully get my hands on one and
I'm
drive
looking
one, even
for
just around town.
problem though is that they're all starting to look the same. Not all of them, but a majority of them. I
Yeah,
mean,
I saw this vehicle. I think I saw it in Monterey last year. And yeah, it's like, how do you not make it look like the Huracan, but make it still look like a Lamborghini? So if you're into that design style, this will fit the bill. But if you were looking for something really kind of out of the box, then maybe you're going to have to shift over to another brand. But anyway, it seems like a cool car. Another cool feature is they have you can get this optional built-in 4K cameras. And I think it's four cameras, 3 or 4 cameras, gives you several different angles. So when you're doing a track day, it'll record everything, and then it'll put it'll put all the data, it'll overlay it on there. So you can download it and it'll give you your, RPM and speeds and all your data in there. And then when you're not on the track, it doubles as in-car camera, like in case of an accident or anything else like that. So it's a cool feature to just have that kind of built in that you can use all the time.
YouTubers pushed for that one.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but you do your track day. You're mounting cameras everywhere, and like to have it built in, and then to get the data, to get the telemetry on there. Is another step and often complicated. And if it's kind of built in and allows you to do it, then that's a cool piece. And then, then if it's just your cameras while you're driving, your security cameras. That's anyway, it's a cool little feature. Yeah. Anyway, that's that's what I got. Heading up to Monterey soon. The plans are coming together for Monterey. We're Corolla and I are going to go up there. He's going to hit the track. I think he's bringing the BRE 510. He's bringing the little car, but he loves driving that car. It's a great momentum car. Things it's quick. It runs good. So we'll be at the track there. We're going to try to get up to the Motor Lux event, which used to be the Jet Center party, Gordon McCall's Jet Center party. Uh, we'll do some track practice Thursday. Uh, Thursday night, Acura does a great event. They usually launch something new. I think this year it's going to be the new EV that they have. Uh, we got an invitation to go out on Sky's yacht, and when I say yacht, it's 215 feet. It's $100 million. It's got a theater in it. It's got a pool. It's got a gym.
Oh,
full
theater.
a theater. Yeah, it's got a cinema in it, full gym in it, and I don't know. Somehow we got an invitation to check that out, which is interesting. Um, we'll be at the Quail. Looking forward to that. Ring Brothers debuting a car there. This is big for them. They don't. They're not Monterey Car Week guys. Normally, I believe they are debuting their take on a 71 Aston Martin DBS. I could be wrong on the year, but Aston Martin DBS. I'm curious
I
to
don't care if they do a Pinto. I can't wait to see it.
right. It doesn't even have to be the best looking Aston Martin in the world to like, but what they do, I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna try to connect with the team from Gordon Murray Automotive. We're still putting that together. I think we're gonna be swinging by Hennessy as well to chat with them. We're going to be at the track most of the day Saturday. So those of you guys that do come out to Monterey Car Week, Saturday during the day, we'll be at the track, probably at the Concorso Italiano as well. If you're into Celine S7s, I believe they're going to have 5 S7s on display over there. It's going to be a good event. I know we've said this a million times before, but if if you can't get to Monterey like overnight, or if it's expensive, or you don't have a place to stay, or you're limited on time, I always recommend just trying to get out to the track on Saturday. I think it's $139 for a ticket if you get it soon, but it's 550 of the coolest race cars in the world. Not to mention what's parked around there, and every ticket is basically a pit pass. You can walk and see every car and talk to the people that work on them, drive them, and it's just kind of a who's who of drivers and collectors there. And even of just sitting in the grandstand and seeing some of these things, hearing some of these things,
Oh, yeah.
it's badass. It's a cool event. So. Yeah, hope to see you guys in Monterey. We're a couple weeks out, so if you haven't got a ticket for that, you might want to jump on that soon. So, yeah, looking forward to it. It's gonna be a cool event. Yeah, cool event. All right, buddy. Are we missing anything? What else?
I'm just gonna go shoot some guns, man.
Shoot some guns, knives, guns.
Turned into that mountain man now. Now I got all the time in my hands that I need to go out and take care of the property. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna go clean up some poop. We'll be talking to you guys next week.
All right. Well, then on that note, thanks guys so much for listening. And until next time, keep the air in the spare and the bag in the wheel.
Yeah.